Think about your day for a second. From the moment you wake up, AI is, well, it's everywhere, isn't it? It's suggesting what to watch, how to get to work, maybe even helping you write an email. But all this convenience, what's it actually doing to our brains? That's what we're going to dig into today. Is AI our brain's best friend, or is it something else entirely? And look, this isn't just some abstract tech debate. This is a really human question. It all kind of boils down to this. Are we using these tools to build a better brain, to reach new heights? Or are we just outsourcing the very things that make us, well, us? Our ability to think for ourselves, to remember, to make a call. The stakes? Yeah, they couldn't be higher. Okay, so to really get into this, we have to talk about something called cognitive offloading. It sounds complicated, but I promise it's not. It's something you do, I do, we all do it every single day. When you let your GPS handle the directions, or when you Google a fact instead of trying to remember it, that's cognitive offloading. You're handing a mental task over to a tool. And hey, it frees up brain space, right? But, and this is a big but, there's a hidden cost we need to talk about. All right, so first up, memory. Is AI like an amazing external hard drive for our brain, giving us almost superhuman recall? Or is it more like a crutch that we're leaning on so much that our own memory muscles are starting to, shrink? I mean, think about it. When was the last time you actually memorized a new phone number? You probably haven't, right? Because it's just sitting there in your contacts. Well, there's a name for that. It's called the Google effect. Basically, our brains have figured out that if information is easy to find, there's no point in storing the info itself. Instead, we just store the path to the info. But here's the kicker. What happens when you take that effect and put it on steroids with AI? Well, to get a handle on that, some researchers at the MIT Media Lab did this really fascinating experiment. They took two groups of students. One group had to write essays using a lot of AI help. The other group, they had to do it the old-fashioned way, no AI. And the results were pretty eye-opening. Actually, alarming might be a better word. So check this out. What you're seeing here is literally the difference in brain activity. When the students let the AI do most of the heavy lifting for their essays, their brains just kind of checked out. You can see it, way less engagement. Those neural pathways for reasoning, for memory, they just weren't firing. It's like going to the gym and watching your personal trainer lift all the weights for you. You're there, but are you getting any stronger? Nope. And here's the gut punch. A whopping 83%. 83 of the students who used AI couldn't even recall the main points from the essays they just turned in. Think about that. They didn't actually learn the material because their brain never did the work to begin with. This is the danger zone. It's what some neurologists call cognitive atrophy, and it's exactly what it sounds like. If you don't use it, you start to lose it. Okay, so memory is one thing. But what about our ability to think critically, to really analyze a problem? Is AI a crutch that's just making us, well, lazy? Or could it be a catalyst that actually helps us think better and smarter? Well, it really seems like there are two paths we can take here. On the one hand, if we just use AI for quick, easy answers, we can fall into this trap of cognitive laziness. There's even a term for it, automation bias. That's where you just kind of trust the machine's output without even thinking about it. But on the other hand, you can use AI as a sparring partner. A tool to brainstorm with, to throw ideas at, something that you then have to critically evaluate and push back on. It's the difference between using a calculator because you can't be bothered to learn multiplication versus using one to tackle way more complex physics problems. And one of the biggest dangers on that crutch side of the equation is something the Brookings Institution calls AI sycophancy. It's a fancy word, but the idea is simple. AIs are designed to be helpful, right? To be agreeable. The problem is they can end up just telling us exactly what we want to hear. They echo our own assumptions and biases right back at us, instead of challenging them. And before you know it, you're stuck in this super sophisticated high-tech echo chamber. And hey, this isn't just a theory. A 2025 study found a direct link here. The more people relied on AI for answers, especially younger folks, the lower they scored on tests measuring critical thinking. So the takeaway is crystal clear. If we just passively accept what the AI gives us, we're essentially letting our critical thinking muscles waste away. Which brings us to our next big area, decision-making. This is a huge one. Are we letting these algorithms put our lives on autopilot, or are we staying in the cockpit, using AI as a trusted co-pilot while we keep our hands firmly on the wheel? Every single day, algorithms are making tiny choices for us, and they add up. They create what's called a filter bubble, and it's a really sneaky process. It starts simply enough. You click on something you like. The algorithm notices and says, "Oh, you like that? Here's more." And pretty soon, anything that doesn't fit that pattern, any dissenting view, just gets filtered out. Your worldview is being shaped, narrowed, and you might not even notice it's happening. Eli Pariser, the guy who actually came up with the term filter bubble, had a pretty powerful way of describing it. He called it invisible autopropaganda. Wow. Think about that. It's like you're being indoctrinated with your own ideas. The algorithm isn't just reacting to you, it's actively shaping what you're going to want next. And that is a powerful, powerful force that can slowly chip away at our ability to make truly independent choices. So here we are again at this fork in the road. We can go on autopilot, just blindly following where the algorithm leads. Or we can choose to be the co-pilot. And the co-pilot model is all about keeping a human in the loop. It means you treat the AI as a brilliant advisor. It brings you the data, it gives you insights, but the final call, the one that requires context, ethics, judgment, that stays with you. That's the human's job. So the big question is, how do we do that? How do we make sure we stay in the driver's seat and not get shoved into the passenger side? How do we use these incredible tools without letting them, well, use us? Okay, let's get practical. Here's how we can stay in control. Look, the answer isn't to just throw out the tech and go live in a cabin. It's about using it mindfully. It's a mindset shift. So number one, treat AI like that sparring partner, not an all-knowing oracle. Argue with it, challenge it. Two, always verify what it tells you. Don't just accept it. Three, use it to kickstart your work. Get that first draft going, but you have to own the final product. And maybe the most important thing, go to the mental gym. Do some tasks without AI just to keep those cognitive muscles strong. And actively, purposefully step outside your bubble. Go find information that the algorithm would never show you. Because in the end, that's what AI is. It's a tool. It's like a hammer. You can use it to build something amazing, or you can use it to smash things. The technology itself isn't good or bad. It just is. So AI isn't really the question. You are the answer. Are we going to be passive consumers of information, or are we going to be active, engaged, critical thinkers? The choice of whether AI becomes a friend or a foe to your brain, well, that's entirely up to you.